Good morning, everybody. And my name is Htet Kyu. I work for the Great Alicia Project as a national network coordinator for Myanmar. As my colleague has already introduced this recently now about the introduction of the 6 sets of agroecological practices, I'm going to elaborate a bit on these practices. The first practice is system of rice intensification. Actually, this all of us here must have already known about this thing. It originated in Madagascar somewhere around in 2004 or something like that. Oh no, yeah, 2004. And then this actually is when you look into our Mekong region, this practice is very well known and disseminated in the region. And in particularly in Vietnam and Cambodia. In Myanmar, this SRI was introduced in 2001 by Meta Development Foundation for the uplands. And later, this SRI practices were spread to others by the support of the international NGOs like RED and World Concern and WHH. So when you look at the 12, there are 12 principles in the SRI that manage and maximize the rice crop productivity based on the main techniques like early, quick, and healthy plant establishment, and reduce plant density, and improve soil conditions through enrichment with organic matter, reduce and control water application. Actually, these are the 4 main techniques under the 12 principles. But this SRI practice is also difficult to practice in some of the areas depending on the context. The main constraints are the scarcity of labor force involved in the capacity of increased land cultivation. When the land sizes become larger and with the limited labor forces, it's quite difficult. Another one is the water management, because you need level soil in order to be able to transplant small seedlings there. So this is also, there are some areas in Myanmar and in the region difficult to practice. Another one is an integrated pest management. As my colleagues has already introduced, that there are 3 driven systems, but for this integrated pest management, it was mainly from the international driven force, particularly we would say FAO. It started in 1990s in Mekong region, and it is based on capacity building of farmer skills on pest surveillance and self-reliant crop management decisions. We all know that during that time, FAO concentrate on helping the farmers with to come up with a better decision by analyzing the agroecosystem capacity. And it's this is actually unique because when you look at this IPM, it is the government also supported a lot. Its strong involvement can be found by the Ministry of Agriculture and Education, as well the technical support from the FAO. It mainly, this SRI is mainly addresses on rice and vegetable crops. And another constraint for, a wider scaling up of this thing, to have a value to appreciated by the growers is the difficulties for the development of the certification, because it has up till now no standards can be created for this integrated pest management. And this approach is to manage to pest management. This solely relies on the combination of practices like mechanical, biological, chemical, and cultural control. So when you look at it, you will see that the farmers are In order to apply this IPM, the farmers need a comprehensive information on the life cycle of pests and the interaction with the environment. It's really ecological or agroecological approach. Because in order to develop this, for them to be able to grow a healthy crop, you know that farmers have to choose a good variety, a suitable variety with good fertilizer or soil fertility management. And also the main objective of this integrated pest management, as much as possible, to reduce the pesticide use, because in order to conserve the natural enemies of the pest. The third one is to conduct a regular field observation through which the farmers really will always be aware of what is happening in the field, and or he can take actions in timely. And by this IPM approach also, we have discovered that farmers have become experts in wherever the IPM approach has been introduced or trained to the farmers. Another set of agroecology practices we found in the region is organic agriculture. This organic agriculture relies on ecological processes, biodiversity, and cycles of organic recycling of organic matter adapted to the local conditions, rather than the use of external inputs. So this organic agriculture is more concentrated in rice, vegetable, coffee and tea and fruit trees in the Mekong area. And it emerged only recently, with the notable exception of Thailand. Because it's only the Thailand at this moment we will find that it's a little bit advanced than the remaining countries in the region. But still, the organic agriculture is marginal in all countries when you look at in the region, in terms of volume and production areas. So one interesting thing here, when we talk about organic agriculture, is that they managed to define the standard of production, adjusted according to the own regulations in the country, and it is request certification by the external body. So today you will see that there are a lot of emerging initiatives, such as participatory guarantee system, PGS, which will soon be introduced by our colleague, one of the speakers here, relying on multi-stakeholders participation. Okay? But there is one point which would be taken into consideration as an important point, is this, because of the organic agriculture become popular, you will see that there are some international agrochemical companies which become involved in the spread of this organic agriculture. For us, very difficult to consider as agroecological practice, because not all organic agriculture initiatives can be considered the agroecological practices. Another set is the integrated farming system. This approach has been promoted as alternatives to green revolution agriculture since the 1990s for the self-sufficient farming by central governments. It is highly bio-intensive methods of small-scale farming in which food gardening, fish rearing and animal husbandry are integrated. So in that case, the byproduct or the waste of one production system is used in another production system, so that you will see that the different production systems are interrelated to each other, depending on each other in this integrated farming approach. This has been in the region. When you look at in the region, you will see that Thailand and Vietnam are really a pioneer ahead of this integrated farming system. And it is supported in Thailand by the government and Vietnam also by the government and NGOs. In Vietnam, it is well known as VAC. It's a garden, pond, and livestock system, and is managed by the family farming household. And it can be adapted to different agroecological area like rice and duck, or rice and fish and fruit trees. This integrated management of three components, garden, fish pond, and livestock, are, when you look at that, some products from the garden are used to feed the fishes. Fish pond provides water, mud, and slime for irrigating and fertilizing the garden. Some fishes and weeds can be used for the livestock nutrition, and animal manure is used for the feeding plants and fishes. So all these things, when you summarize, it is the waste or the product or the byproduct of one particular system is helpful or useful in another production system. This one, another set is the conservation agriculture. This conservation agriculture has started to be born from the research center on soil conditions and soil conditions improvement. Conservation agriculture is mostly associated to CIRA in the region as main promoter and practitioner, particularly in Cambodia, Laos, and Vietnam. In Myanmar, this is also promoted by NGO like WHH as well as UN organization, which has been in the past in implementing the HCI projects with the collaboration of FAO. And conservation agriculture is actually based on three principles: continuous minimum mechanical soil disturbances, direct planting of crop seeds, permanent organic soil cover that use of crop residues and crop covers, and diversification of crop species grown in sequence and association. And you see again here also it's quite similar to the integrated farming system, but here only the plants help each from one system to another. But we still need a larger understanding, including the water and soil conservation. Agroforestry has been used and promoted by ICRA, World Agroforestry Center, and becomes now popular in many countries. Agroforestry is ecologically based natural resource management practice that through which the integration of tree on farmland in the agricultural landscape that diversifies and sustains the production. So here again, combinations of trees, crops, and or livestock are intentionally designed in order to establish, to be established in the same land and are managed to work together and yield multiple products and benefits, rather than as individual elements which may occur together but are managed separately. Okay, thank you. I didn't know that it was